Hello, this is Shubhendu from Steamworks Studio. Steamworks Studio provides online programs for students. You are very welcome to sample our programs at steamworksstudio.com /online.html. So this program is all about Python coding. So we're going to first learn about a beautiful programming language called Python. And the way this works is, just like Scratch or other programming languages, you require a place where you can type things. So you must have an editor where you can type the Python language code. So we're going to start with a Python course by going to python.org. In order for you to learn Python, you must first go to python.org, and you have different downloads here. So if you are using a Windows machine, you can download this guy right here by clicking this. If you are using an Apple machine, you can go to Mac OS X or any other platform. And when you click on that, it'll give you different links for, this is for Mac, and you can download the latest instance. And once you hit the download button, it'll download it. And at the end of it, you should see right here on your Windows screen, if you look for it, an editor called idle, like so. So make sure that you have idle. If you want, you can always look for it by typing IDLE and then clicking on it. So let's get started. Once you have the download, I'm assuming you take some time and download the program, and now you're ready to write Python code. So I'm going to first go and look up my Python dictionary. So just give me a second. I'm going to go to my Python dictionary, and we're going to open up Python right here. So once you have downloaded, let's see how Python editor works. So in general, if you have a programming language, we use a programming language so that you can solve problems that humans typically will hesitate to do because it is either very repetitive or very tough to do. So you have a problem and you use a programming language. The computers themselves don't understand any of your English-like programming language. They only understand the language of ones and zeros, or on and off, as they are electronic systems. So it is a good practice, given a problem that you have been asked to do, think about it, put it down on a piece of paper. Maybe you need to use some flowchart to organize your thoughts, and plan before you start typing. Think about the problem. That is so very critical. That'll save you a lot of time and frustration later on. So there's a lots of different kinds of languages that have been invented by people over the years, and Python is a very big part of it. Python is a very popular language, and it's growing in leaps and bounds. The reason being, it has a very large ecosystem, or called libraries. Like, people build these nice libraries around the Python core language. So for example, if you are a molecular biologist, you can use this library called BioPython and do things that are used only in molecular biology. Or if you are a game developer, you can use Pygame and do nice game design very quickly. So libraries are things, just like you go to a library, borrow a book. You did not write that book, somebody else did. You just borrow it for a little time or make a copy of it, and then use it in your own programs to get very quickly up and running. So that's the point of having libraries. And Python every day is getting bigger and bigger because a lot of people contribute libraries around it, and hence Python is very popular. So we are going to start our first program and we're going to learn what an IDE is. It's called the Integrated Development Environment, or IDLE. IDLE is the name of the program, the editor that was just downloaded. Like I mentioned how to download it, it would give you IDLE like this. And we're going to click on this and get it started. So once I open up IDLE, it'll open up in a screen like so. And what will happen is you have this thing called shell. Shell is where you can do one-line programs very easily. So let's say you have a large number and you want to multiply these numbers together. You will get an instant answer. So it's a very powerful little computer. You can also type Python commands very, very quickly, like print. So you can do something like a print command very, very quickly like that. But this is not the best way to write large sets of code, like with lots of lines. You will not be able to go back and correct something if you did a mistake. These are just command shell. This is called a command shell. What you need to do is click on File and New File to create a new program, almost like Notepad, where you can type things. So let's say I was going to write code. I could do something in Python and like print hello world. Now notice what happened. This color changed to purple. This is a reserved word. It's almost like a command in Python. It's the print command. And print expects something to be put. It prompts you right there to be put within brackets. What you put inside could be a string. A string is a collection of words. So hello world, it's like a sentence. So you can have whatever you feel like writing here, but you must close the string. That's how Python will know that you started here and you ended here. So you need to use the word print. Make sure you don't forget the start and ending bracket, and then you put the sentence in here, and that's how you can print things, right? So let's say I have these two sentences, or I have much more. Now in this editor I can make many different changes. If I have to fix something, I can save it into a file. So the way to save is I hit save by going to file. It's going to ask me for a file name, and you see it's a .py. All Python programs have the extension .py. So I can say hello. I might have that already saved. I'm going to override. Now I have a hello file. In order to run a Python program, I just go here and click on run. And you see what we typed here is now programmed into the shells, right? It goes one by one and executes what we have typed. Now it is easy for us to go and fix things. Let's say I want to change this one to hello sky. I can do that, and I can hit run. It will save the file, and now you have the blue sky coming here. So I can make changes like that on the fly because of this nice editor. So this is a shell, while this is your actual file. So every time we create a new program, we like to use these files. Okay, so let's go to the next step. We learned about the editor. Now we're going to learn about something called variables. Variables, just like in Scratch and other programming languages, is a way that you can, by name, a variable is something that can vary, right? And so a speed, for example, is a variable, and I can type anything I like in terms of naming it. Let's say I want to create a new variable called speed, and I want to say a speed of 50 miles per hour. So I can just say 50 like this, and I can say print 50. So this is my second program. I'm just writing speed equal to 50 and print 50. I got 50 here. This variable can be changed because it's a variable. I can vary it and I can make it 100, and next time, sorry, this needs to be speed right here because I want to print this variable. If I put it here, now what do you guess will happen? Now I have updated the value of the variable, so the speed has changed to 100, and that's what is printing right here. So that's how variables work. Variables need not be just integers. They could be strings. So I could have a name as a variable, and I will say name equal to, and I want to print this name. And later on, I'm going to change the name to, and later on, I'm going to print it again. I'm reusing the name variable. It was Tom Hanks before, and later on Amelia, and that's what it's going to print out. So that's how variables work, and we make use of variables for a variety of purpose. For example, if I have to have a name and I can keep on changing it, let's say I have a greeting message, and the greeting is, I can use something like percentage %s. S stands for string. We just talked about strings. Strings are within double quotes. They mean a set of words altogether. So I'm saying hello percentage %s. Because I don't know who I'm saying hello to, this is a placeholder. Percentage here is a placeholder. And what I'm going to plan to do here is I'm going to write hello, which is greeting. Greeting is the variable that holds this, including the placeholder. And I want to pass, this is called a substitution variable. So it's basically substitutes. Percentage here is for substituting. So now Tom Hanks becomes this. When I use this percentage, it's going to insert that name into this placeholder, and I can have an exclamation mark just here. Now if I run this program, you'll see the effect of it. Hello, Tom Hanks. So it added, because of this hello, and it has Tom Hanks here. And I could change the name and it would work just the same way. Hello, Greta, right? So hello, Tom Hanks, hello, Greta. So that's what we use the placeholder for. You might have noticed that I'm using these pound marks. These are called comments. There are many kinds of comments. Some comments are block comments. So if this is a paragraph of text for myself to remember why I wrote this program. When I use 3 apostrophes like that, Python will ignore all these things. It will not take into account. It's a comment. These are called, this is called a block comment. These here are comments that are called inline comments. There are quick things that you want to mark for every sentence. You can write using this pound sign. Everything following that is ignored. So essentially all these, I'll run this program and nothing will change. All those words that you put in has no effect because these are comments. So that's a useful thing. It helps you remember things. When you open a file 3 months from now, you'll remember, wow, this is why I did this. And it's a good thing so that somebody else looking at your program can understand what you did. Okay, so with that, we've done some basics. Now let's try to learn about something called loops. Loops are things that repeat. We can repeat many things in Python, and we're going to try to do that now. So let's say I want to repeat a name. So let's say I have a print statement like hello, and I want to repeat it 10 times. There are two kinds of loops. One of them is called a for loop. The other one is called a while loop. For loops are used when you know how many times to repeat. Exactly. So while loops are, if you're not sure, you use while loops. So let's try both. I'm going to just put pound here so that it does not take effect. Now let's do the for loop. So the way to write that is you write for, you give it a variable like I in range 10. What it means is, and then you have to put a colon. Always remember the loops have a colon. And when you hit enter, it doesn't start at the first place here. It has a big indent from here to here. That is how Python knows what to repeat. It's kind of saying all these statements are going to repeat, right? So as long as you have an indent, all those things will repeat. So right now I'm saying for I in range, what I's purpose is, it starts with 0 and it keeps on bumping up 10 times. So if I run this program, you will see you have 10 hellos. How do I know it's 10? I can actually print I. Just to make sure, let's say I printed I instead of the word hello, you will see it starts from 0 up to 9. So that's how I can use for loops. Now, that's one way of doing it. I gets automatically bumped up. I gets an automatic 0 as the start point, and the range can change to whatever you like. So that's for loop. Now, I'm going to show you what while loops look like. One could write while I less than 10, print I. What is I? I has not been defined yet, so I have to give it explicitly in while a number. So I can say, oh, start I from 1 and go up to less than equal to 10. So while the for loop started from 0 and went to 9, I want to start my I counting from 1. If I do this, look what happens. Oh, why does it keep on running and never stopping? And it always has the value 1. Something is not right. So if I do control Z, C, I can break this file. Okay. What is happening is the I is never getting incremented. The way to do that is I can write something like 1. What this means is equal to I plus 1. That means every time the loop runs, add 1 to I so that it increases. This is a short form of writing I is equal to I plus 1. I is equal to I plus 1. So I'm just bumping up I every single time the while loop runs. So if you see this now, 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's how the while loops work. So given this, now you know two different ways of using loops. So these are things that you repeat. Okay, so we're going to make use of it and do some amazing things. We are going to learn about one more thing. We're going to call it input. Input is like you see it turned purple, it's a fixed reserved word, and you can input can get information from a user. So the way to do this is we can say input, what is your name? This is the green part is a string that you put, and input is a function. So input, whenever I run this program, is going to ask me to put in a name. What I get back from the user, I can save it in a variable like name and then print it and say, you said, and then I can add to this string name. If I run this now, you will say, you said Tom Hanks. So that's how, did you see that every time I ran this program, it actually waited, it did not move forward, it waited for you. I kind of don't like it that it's on the right hand side. I like it when it's on the bottom. So what I can do here is add a special marker like /n. This is a forward slash, not a backslash. When inside a string you put a slash like that, it goes to the next line. This is called the next line character. So now if you look at this, now the cursor is below, not on the side, which is nice. Now I can say Greta, and you said Greta, right? So now I can use this to get information from the person that is using your program. So that's a very important construct that's called the input function. So always remember that. We'll make use of it next time. Okay, so let's learn about something more interesting and fun. We talked about libraries before. Libraries are things that people have already designed in a language and you quickly go and use it. In order to use a library, we must import the library. So we're going to use something called the Turtle library. That's a funny name. Turtle is actually, its meaning is Turtle Graphics Library, like so. So we're going to call first import so that we can inherit and use everything that Turtle provides. Next, we are going to do the first command in Turtle. So let's say my Turtle really represents a little pen that can move around. So let me call my Turtle Lily. Lily, the turtle, I'm going to use Turtle, which is the library, dot turtle. What it means is I just created, as I mentioned, libraries already exist. You're making an instance. Make own instance of turtle called Lily. So I just created Lily the turtle by saying from this library, make me a new instance called turtle. So I have Lily now. I'll also say Lily dot color, and I'll make it red, like so. So now I have given Lily a color. I will also give Lily a shape, like so. Now let's run it, and I'm going to save it, and maybe I'll call it, don't save the file as turtle. Never do that. Turtle is a reserved name. Give it any name you like, but don't call it turtle. Okay, so let's call it Lily, lily.py. So I'm ready to run it. When I run it, it'll show me a red turtle right in the middle. It didn't do much, but changed the color and made the shape as red. Okay, now we have the color and shape. What else can Lily do? When I do, if I put a dot, it has many commands like you see here that I can draw a circle, I can do a line, dots, fill colors. There's hundreds of things that I can do. But right now, I'm going to make it move forward. So I'm going to say forward like that. And I'm going to go 100 steps or little dots actually forward. And then if I run this, you see it moved from 0, 0, 0, comma 0, which is X and Y. It's moved 100 little dots to the right. So turtle always starts on the middle of the screen like that. So now if I write Lily dot left 90 degrees, what it means is I can now go straight from 0, 0. If this is 0, 0, I go straight 100 spots. While I'm looking in this direction, I say turn 90 degrees. That means if this is the angle, I am turning 90 degrees like so. Now I'm looking up after turn, right? So that is what we're going to do. When I run this program now, you will see the change. It'll go straight and point upwards. That's good. Now, what happens if I do this again and again and again? What if I did it 4 times? What do you guess will happen? Let's see. It's going to go straight. So that drew a square. It went here, turned left, went straight, turned left, went straight, turned left, came here. So it's a square. I can draw things. I can even change my colors. If I like lime green, I can run it. And it'll be a lime green square. Okay, how about, so here, do we have to really copy paste again and again these things? Or I can make use of my previous knowledge of j equal to 0. And I'll say while j less than 4, that means I'm doing this 4 times because I'm going to bump up j plus equal to 1. That means I'm going to bump up j every time by 1 till I reach 0, 1, 2, 3, not 4. So it happens from 0 to 3, which is equal to 4 times, right? So when I do this, it'll do the same thing. But I did it smartly. I did not have to copy paste Lily for many, many times. The other advantage is, what if this was 85 and was not 90, and I did it many, many times? Let's see what happens. What do you guys think? That's interesting. So you can all make spirographs and artwork with Python. If you learn how to use loops, you can do incredible things with it, right? So this is learning loops with Turtle Graphics. And this is where we'll end, and you can continue next time in our series. Thank you very much. I will stop. Thanks for joining.